Hi.
What's up?
What's up? All right, we have our notes. Oh my goodness. Blue screen up there. Thank you so much. There we go. All right, overhead did not have what I was recording. All right, so let us take a moment now that we've got the basic format set up. Let's go ahead and get our title, our date, and our objectives. Every day when you set up for notes, you'll want to get those written down before we start recording so that we're ready to go. Please put the date here on the upper right-hand corner. We are August the 26th, 2015. Because we're going to be writing in this space here in the middle, and some of our things might run long, please take, I'm going to use red to mimic this red line that you see. There should be a very faint red line from the other side of the page. Trace that over. Okay? That's going to be a signal for your brain that this is date and this is other stuff. You can do with whatever color. I'm just going to use red to keep it. All right. Now, here on the left, we want to mark down the chapter and the lesson that we're working on. So when we get our books, you know where this information lives in our textbook. C stands for chapter. We are chapter 0 because we're going to be doing some introductory pre-prepared stuff.
Wait, we don't put a dot after the C?
You don't have to. You can if you want. L stands for lesson. And we are doing the very first lesson, lesson number 1. Okay. The title for chapter 0, lesson 1 is, I'm going to zoom it in a little bit. There we go. The title is Converting Units of Measure within systems. The space I have left up here, I'm going to cut horizontally in half. Okay? Again, if you're one of those that really needs these lines straight, go ahead and break out your straight edge, your ruler, the edge of a notebook, or phone. I'm going to freehand because YOLO. And
holy cow. When you use YOLO?
Yeah, right? And you're going to divide that space into 2 spaces horizontally. You did it? It was perfect, and then it went crazy. All right. Now, here is where I want you to write your 2 objectives. The first objective has to deal with what we are learning. On the whiteboard to your left, my right, is the content objective. That's what we are learning. So physically written on the whiteboard, not in the projector, is the content objective. That is what we are learning, and that's going to go in this space up here. Okay. For those of you using composition books, it starts to get kind of small. Even on regular notebook paper, if you write really big, you might want to consider adjusting this line down to give yourself some space. You are more than welcome to do that. It says what?
What?
Because this is what we are going to learn. Today, we're going to write both.
We're going to write both.
We're going to write both. You're also going to see, moving forward, the objectives are going to appear on the overhead here in this black space. Okay? It should be a little easier to read than my messy handwriting. Okay? So we're going to go ahead and write that what objective. So take a moment to copy that down for me, please. Okay.
Just write that.
This is part of your setting up notes. I should probably have done this in the first video, yes?
Yes.
Okay. I know for next time I'm going to do it together in the first video. Okay, calm down. Calm down.
Oh, that's a B. I thought that was in U. I was like, what?
Okay, there's the what objective. This is what we're going to learn, our content objective. After the content, you're going to write the learning objective or the language objective. This tells you how we're going to get that information learned. Okay? So copy that one down as well.
Oh, yep.
Oh my god, that's a lot.
It's a lot, but hopefully there's not too many words there that you don't know. If there are, ask me now. If in my objective at any time there's words there that you don't know, just let me know. What? You misspelled division. Oh my goodness.
TV sold.
All right. And this is what a fully complete header will look like.
Oops.
So when I have set up for notes, you should find this information somewhere. And I should have it all posted. If it's not on the whiteboard, it should be here in this black space off to the right. You'll see the lesson title, the dates, the objectives, all of that stuff. Okay? Do your best today. I know that I had you set this up kind of with the maximum amount of space here in your note-taking space as possible. But moving forward, trying to answer your question. Moving forward, if you notice that these objectives are going to be really big since you're writing them first, you can move this line down and draw it afterwards. Okay, so fold your paper, set up the header, and then put that border underneath all of this. Why is there a grade 70 or better? Because there's going to be classwork that goes along with this notes to give you a chance to practice. And when it's all said and done, I want you to be able to have completed it at a 70% or higher. So that way when I take it for a grade in the grade book, you know you're going to have at least one grade in there, 70 or higher.
The classwork is either 70 or higher?
I want you to be able to get it at a 70 or higher. You might not the first time, but that's what redos are for. Okay?
The redos are a 70 exactly?
Nope.
You can have a chance to put on.
Oh, yes. I heard a question over here. You have to put it in the turn-in folder. All right, let's go ahead and move forward. Okay. All right. What you'll get from me is whenever we've got a bunch of mindless, you need to copy stuff down, I will try to have a little sheet ready for you so that you can cut out the mindlessly copy this word now and have it ready to go and just to paste into your notes, okay? These are just tables of conversion. This is information you can find on the internet. It's not vitally important that you guys write them down, okay? But I sent it to the copy room too late yesterday, so I don't have my copies yet. They'll probably be in for you guys for tomorrow. So right now we're going to pretend that you've gotten them, and we're going to pretend that you've gotten a chance to cut them out. And so I want you to leave about, 10 lines or so worth of space.
Yep.
Yes?
I need to see Eric Castillo in the office, please.
Thank you. Eric. Jared, sorry.
Jerry, go.
Jerry.
Jerry.
Jarek, Jared, Jareth, Jerry, Gerald. We love you, Jerry. Jake from State Farm. So give yourselves like 10. Bye, Jerry. We making sure I get the right name. I don't want to call him Jake from State Farm tomorrow. It'll all be Vera's fault. Give yourselves like 10 lines of space or so, maybe a little bit more if you're using college ruled, and then take a highlighter or a pencil or something and give yourself a bar.
Like 13?
Yeah, like 13, 14. Okay?
Yeah,
I've already in the line or the line.
It's okay, you can just use your pencil for now. Okay? It can be on the line or between the lines. I've put them between. What you're really looking for at the end of the time is about a third to a half of your paper reserved for when you get these tomorrow, cutting and pasting them in there. Okay? You're just saving some space so that you can put them in there. All right, let's go ahead and work with the examples then. We're going to pretend that you have that information and it's glued in the right spot. I will show you that information as it's needed for the example. Just a couple, Dan. You want to give yourself like that much space.
Is that good?
That's perfect. Yeah. It's not an exact, okay? It's a más o menos. Maybe about 4 fingers worth of space. Boom.
Oh,
Yeah. And then highlight right under your hands.
I use my whole hand.
You put your whole hand. Yeah. Well, some needs the whole hands because some have thinner hands than others. I kind of have a thick thumb. All right, let's go ahead and handle our examples. All right, as we're getting ready to do the examples, there are some important tips and tricks that you need to know. So this is, let me use red, important. Yep, a red exclamation point off here. Notice it's very off to the edge. Is important.
We can skip on that one.
Mhm.
Is that first line after it?
Yep, that first line after your little squiggly line. Squiggles is the exclamation point. This is important. When you are doing conversions, when you are changing from one unit size to another, when you're going from a large unit to a small unit, you are going to be multiplying. Okay? That's the first important thing to note. For example, okay? My marking for you to say that it's an example is going to be in blue, dark blue, EX, and I'm going to put a box around it. So this is an example. All right. The example we have is convert 13 yards into some number of feet. When you're doing your classwork, when you're doing your homework, showing your work the steps you took to get there is as important as the answer is. But more important than either of those is your justification on why you did what you did. Okay? Your reason why you did it is a good justification, and as we move forward, we'll make sure that you're pulling. We'll make sure that you're pulling from notes and things, and you're using the right words and vocabulary. Okay? All right. So, how big is a yard in relation to a foot? Do y'all have an idea? 3. And you just say that probably because someone shoved it down your throat and, like, forced you to remember it, right?
No.
They said 3 feet in a yard. Ah, right? No? But how big is a yard? Más o menos. But show me physically. How big is it? 3 square tiles, because our square tiles are a foot. He's going más o menos así, like this. I happen to have, he's going like this. I happen to have a yardstick.
It's like this big. They're like this.
I meant to do that.
You see, it's like this.
Is that this?
Like the Y.
Yeah, like the Y. YMC. Yeah, Y for yard. Yard is like the, okay. For me, because I am 5 feet even, a yard is about here. I go from the tip of my finger, let me stand up so y'all can see it, and I go to about where my heart would be. So if I do it on the other side, it's exactly where my heart is. Okay? So for me, that's about a yard. And so when I'm going to, buy your cloth for my daughter, I'm going to make her new Halloween costume, and I need yardage, this is about how I measure. Okay, this is how many yards of cloth I need. Okay? If you're 6 feet tall, it's going to be from the tip of your finger to dead center. So if you're 6 feet tall, that's how you can find a yard. Tip of your finger to dead center in your chest.
So it's going to be half?
Yeah, it'll be half of you. Because 6 divided by 2 is 3. If you're 6 feet tall, half of 6 is 3. 3 feet is 1 yard. So if you're 6 feet tall, fingertip to center of your chest is 1 yard, 3 feet. If you're somewhere between me and 6 feet tall, it's going to be somewhere between dead center of the chest and the heart. And I don't know where. So you just have to guesstimate, okay? The closer you are to 5 feet, the closer to the heart it is. Closer to 6, the closer to your centers. All right. So clearly the yard is bigger than the foot, which is one of these. For me, it's about elbow to wrist, a little bit more. That's about a foot for me. Huh? Yours probably is. So for me, it's there. Elbow to where my finger's bent. So we're told on the conversion chart, as y'all screamed it out to me very wonderfully, here it is, 1 yard equals 3 feet. You see it? So since we're going from a large unit to a smaller unit, we're going to multiply by 3. Our justification is because yard, cut the side conversation please, is larger than feet, multiply. And now we need to state why we're multiplying by 3. Bless you. There are 3 feet in 1 yard. This is a complete full justification using the idea that we're going from a large unit of length measure to a smaller unit of length measure, and why we chose the number that we chose. Okay? Full, complete justification.
Isn't meter longer?
Is meter longer than a yard? Yes, and when we get to tomorrow's work where we're doing between different systems, then you'll see that. Good observation, thank you. 13 times 3 is? 39. And so my final answer is 39 feet. Okay. Put another line under that work to show we're done with that problem, but don't take the line all the way across the paper. Just cross this bold line a little bit. Okay. Let's do the next example real quick. This is important. And yes, as you said, we're going to talk about what we do to convert from a small unit of measurement to a larger unit of measurement. What do you think it would be?
Divide.
Why?
Because it says in the
Because it says we're...
multiplication or division.
Oh, smart man. He looked at our language objective, our how we're going to learn it. Notice that objective said we're going to multiply or divide. Well, we just used the multiplication, so what's left? The division. All right, so we're going to divide. All right, so let's get our example. I am not very creative. I'm using the book to help me come up with examples. Okay. First example is we're going from 17 millimeters to some number of meters. And because I know I'm going to be putting my justification, I'm going to go ahead and already put my little squiggly vertical line to show me that on the right-hand side is where I'm going to put my justifications. All right. How big is a millimeter in relation to a meter? Okay, 100, but which one's the small unit? Which one's the big unit?
Millimeter is so small.
Okay, clearly the millimeters are small because this section is small to large. But this is the size of a millimeter. You see the tiny little lines between 6 and 7? Each one of those is a millimeter. Okay, you're saying the width of your pinky? The pinky nail. This part of your pinky nail?
No, just your fingernail.
Just this way. Okay, the thing is that some of us have longer fingernails than others. The measurement is across this way because for most people that's pretty standard. And it's not a millimeter. Look. My finger is way fatter than a millimeter, isn't it? It's more like a centimeter. So for me, my pinky, the width of my pinky nail is about a centimeter. Okay? The millimeter is even smaller than that. For me, it's about the thickness of my actual fingernail. But then again, I've got fake nails, and so they're thicker than normal. It's true. Okay? But that's it's a tiny, tiny little unit. Okay? That's a millimeter. Now, he had said earlier that, hadn't you? You had said earlier that a meter is larger than a yard?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it is.
You think it is? And you're exactly right. We'll see exactly by how much, but it's going to be bigger than this thing, this yardstick. So obviously the meter is much bigger, yes? This one's a yardstick. Yeah, this one's an actual yardstick. I found one, even nowhere. All right, so since it's small to large, we need to do some division. And let's go to our conversion chart to figure out how much we need to divide by. Okay, I don't have a millimeter to meters, but I have a millimeter to centimeter, and then a centimeter to meter. Notice that there are 10 millimeters in 1 centimeter. So to go to centimeters, I have to divide by 10. And then to go from centimeters to meter, there's 100 of them, so I have to divide by 100. Okay? So we're going to do that in 2 steps. First a division by 10, then a division by 100. If it's easier for you to do it all in one chunk, you can do 100 times 10, 1,000, and then...
I told the opposite, there was no attendance in your box, so somebody sent it to you?
Someone got it for me
Oh,
already.
yeah, well, anyway, and then
They
this
got
was
it.
in your box too. So can I throw it to you?
Yes.
Okay, that's it, I hope
Woo.
you feel better.
Oh, thank you. Wow, I got
That's
it.
from the, I guess, I don't know. You got a raise.
It's lion pride.
Woo! The paper says you got a raise, miss?
It's a paper that I got to raise.
No, the same.
You are the key to our success. Have a great school year.
Which is a key.
Thank you. But there's no keys on it. I'll have to put keys on. Okay, so let's do that division real quick. The last example before we get ready to close up shop for the day.
Yay.
So 17 divided by 10 takes us to centimeters. Can you read the blue, or is it too light?
It's too light.
It's too light. Okay. Is that a little better?
Yep.
All right. Note to self, don't use the light blue. It doesn't show up on camera. All right, and then we're going to take this answer and we're going to divide it by the 100. And that will be our final answer. But now we need to state why. Because millimeter is smaller than meter, divide. There are 10 millimeters in 1 centimeter, so that's why I divided by 10. Divide by 10. And then there are 100 centimeters in 1 meter. So that's why I divided by 100. Our full justification is completely done.
Wait, divide what?
Divide by 10, divide by 100. Okay, let me go ahead and zoom in just on my works area so that it's a little easier for you to read. Better? Okay. All right. Questions on these 2 little examples? No. All right. I'm going to go ahead and kill the recording right now. Thank you. Kill it. Hello, where's my mouse? There it is.